Sam, I'm explaining that you're adopting half of my studio. It feels a little like passing the baton. Like that was the space that I built my career, and now
I just sprint with my entire existence.
So it's leaving me, but it's not leaving the family, and that makes me feel good.
Yeah, so big news. It is so crazy. It's crazy for a number of reasons. One of which, I've been a fan of Casey's even before he started daily vlogging. And then I've been operating out of this space, his annex, right down the hall from him for the last 2 years. And now when he moves to California, I'm taking over half of that studio. So in this video, I'm gonna show you what my space currently looks like. Now, before I give you the tour, I just wanna say to Casey, I mean, words cannot describe the amount you've done for me, for my career, for me as a person. I consider you such a good friend. I'm sad that you're leaving New York City, but I'm also really happy for you so you can go raise your family and be in the sunshine every day. But yeah, man, I don't know where I'd be without you. I just feel so grateful that you're in my life, so thanks. Also, I wanna thank Dyson for sponsoring this video. They've been a wonderful partner for a really long time now, and I'm gonna tell you about some of their products that I have here in the studio with me that I pretty much use on a daily basis. Okay, let the tour commence right here, right now, starting with my desk. I've got a dual monitor setup, which helps with just about everything you do on a computer. I've got my custom built Main Gear F131. I'm using an Xtrify mouse bungee, keyboard, armrest, and the mouse pad, but my mouse is Corsair. I use HyperX headphones, and I use a Shure SM7B microphone. I've actually done a setup tour. I'll leave a link to that in the description. I've also detailed the main gear in a video as well. However, now it's got an RTX 2080 Ti graphics card in there. Thank you, Wallace and the main gear team. I like to keep my desk clean. I also like to have multiple Rubik's Cubes on my desk. Whenever I want to take a break or I'm frustrated with something, I'll scramble this, solve it a couple of times. It just kind of keeps the brain flowing and relieves some anxiety. Above the desk are 2 shelves with miscellaneous objects, things that I've collected over the years. There's like phones up there, there's a GoPro, there's some coffee up there. It's things that I sort of use, but not really use, but they're there if I need them. And next to my desk is the Dyson Light Cycle. It is a swiveling, movable, really powerful task light that I keep next to my desk for when I'm solving the Rubik's Cube, let's say, or I'm taking some notes, or I wanna focus on something substantially. The light has a couple touch pads on the top. You can change the color temperature. You can change the intensity of the light. You can also set it to where the light is the same as the sun. It's good for your circadian rhythms, but I like to kind of just activate it on and off directly when I'm using it. Also, it has a USB-C port kind of like right at my desk level, which comes in handy. Moving around the room clockwise, I've got my mini fridge here in the corner, which is shamefully very low in everything, so I'm not even gonna open it. On top of the mini fridge is another Dyson product. This is the Pure Cool Me. It's a relatively small cooling purifier. It's got this little remote that you can change the speeds with. You can make the thing oscillate, and it's also got this little dome so you can point the air in a specific direction, and then that little remote magnetizes right to the front. I like having the Pure Cool Me over here in the corner next to the giant wall AC, because this thing blasts out freezing cold air, and then the Pure Cool Me helps to spread that air out and also purifies it as it comes in. All right, we are continuing clockwise. Got my whiteboard here. That is actually Cool Man Coffee Dan. He was in here, I don't even remember when, but he drew that, and I haven't erased it yet because it's dope. This is the Apple 18-watt USB-C charger. Made a video about this thing. It juices iPhones insanely fast. And then over here is a corner that I've designated for the Super 73. This was my first YouTube video on my channel that hit 1 million views. Thumbs up for that. That video is also linked in the description. I've got a handful of Supreme hats here. I really like to wear hats. I have so many of them. That is not all of them, that's some of them. There's also just a pair of Yeezys there. There's a pair of 4s there. There's a Dance Gavin Dance record there. And then my One Wheel Plus XR. Continuing to move around the room, my desk is now behind the camera. Behind me is the Dyson Pure Hot and Cool. It's another purifier that does hot air and cold air, and it's pretty dang powerful. So between this cooling purifier, the one on the fridge, and then my air conditioner, during the summer, I keep my studio very cold. It's like an ice box in here with very clean air. You'll notice a ladder over here with 2 of my Supreme bags. The ladder is so I can climb up onto the loft if I need to get anything or put anything up there. Kind of just take the ladder off the wall, hook it into these little hooks over here, climb up, do what I need to do, and then climb down. I've got the Mini X hung up, and then I've got 6 boosted boards on the wall. I have so many boosted boards right now. There are 4 chargers on the ground. Most of the time, all of these are plugged in or fully charged. When David and his crew came through to the pop-up, they all wanted to ride boards, and I had enough boards for us to kind of just like always go around, so that was really cool. Having 1 boosted board is pretty great, but having 6, 7, 8 boosted boards is amazing. So behind me is, I don't even know what you would really call this, because it's part of the support structure of the loft. I also put some shelves in here. You can't really use it as a desk because your legs can't go under it, but it's now become a shoe rack for me. I've got so many pairs of shoes, even here at the studio and at home. This is just a small sliver of my shoe collection that's somehow made it into the studio. I don't even know why these shoes are here. Over there, that's the original chrome Ruroc that Casey gave to me so long ago. And then I've got trusty old MacBook Pro. I made a video about why I bought a 2-year-old laptop in 2017. Now it's 2019, and I still use this laptop. It is now 4 years old. It still works great. And then there's this sort of corner of stuff. There's a bunch of smartphones here. There's some camera equipment here. There's my Boring Company fire extinguisher and a gigantic salt lamp. And that little drum machine is my friend Patrick's, who left it in here. And I don't get to play with that thing enough, but that makes some insanely cool sounds. And now for sort of the other side of the room, I guess you could call it. The door to the studio is over here. I've got a coat rack over here, and then the Dyson V11. This is a very powerful cordless vacuum cleaner. It's got a screen up top that shows you your current runtime. You can also change modes to make this thing really intense. The way it handles debris, you sort of just like slide that mechanism out and it pours into the garbage. You don't have to touch anything, and obviously there's no bags because it's a bagless vacuum, but I don't vacuum all that often in here because the building is super old. Like, yeah, it gets dusty in here, probably like once every 2 or 3 weeks I'll go around the room with it, but it makes vacuuming pretty fun. And then behind me is another desk. When I first got this space, most of this was built out actually, and Casey had one of his assistants working from this desk, and then I kind of took half of the room. So that desk has been there forever. I have friends that come here and do work, and instead of going to a coffee shop, they can come to Sam Sheffer's studio and pull up and do what they need to do. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is this little Belkin wall outlet. It's got 10 plugs. I've got USB-A and USB-C plugs here. When I have friends come over, it feels like people are just always wanting to juice their phones, and this is where they do it. So that is gonna do it. That is the Sam Sheffer Studio Tour 2019. It's hard for me to believe that I've been here for 2 years. It's also hard for me to believe that I'm getting half of Casey Neistat's studio, but it's reality. Here we are. This is the timeline we're in, and I'm going to embrace it with my entire heart and soul. But before this video ends, let's take a walk down the hall. Yes, behind this door, there's opportunity, and I am so excited. I don't know what the future holds, but I know that when I move in there, I'm gonna share that with you, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss it. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Casey, and I'll see you in the next video.